Oh, nice hair.
Thank you. Morning.
Morning indeed. Happy New Year, everyone. Nice to see everybody. I have to admit, I don't have a ton on the agenda today. It may be a short meeting. I don't know. It's meetings like these that sometimes I'm surprised at things that we go over and how long they get. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, it was short.
I like your little pompadour there, Shane. Looks good.
Put my ponytail in the front.
It's your unicorn look.
People call me butt face all the time.
Oh.
Doing the reverse man bun.
Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Cool. Gotta get all the things open. Gotta see stuff. So I'm actually not gonna use the live closed captioning, mostly because I think it distracts us. And I found that Zoom will give us closed captioning if I'd ask it to, as long as we're recording it. So I think we only need that for after and we don't need it during. So I'm gonna use that instead. I think it's better closed captioning and less distractions for the fun times that the closed captioning have given us.
It is highly entertaining during the open hour, though.
It's pretty funny. I mean, we thought we might need to make some t-shirts of the because it was so hilarious. So, you know. I'll take it. Looks like we've got a good group here. I'll give people another minute and we'll get started. Welcome back, everybody, and Happy New Year. It's good to get back into the swing of regular meetings. I have to admit that I was kind of looking forward to it. I took quite a break and was able to take quite a bit of time off and spend it with my family, and that was really great. But boy, I was kind of ready to come back. I think that's how you know that your break was long enough. you're ready to come back.
I'm actually getting work done now.
Yeah, right. It's nice. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get started. I don't have a ton on the agenda today, just some general updates. We do have the docs working group today, and then I'm going to go ahead and jump right into general question and answers. I'm not going to go over all of the steps. I have a link here, and you can go look at those. There's actually too many to list in bullet points on a slide deck, so I've just left it as a link. And we actually have some that I think are still pending to be drafted from prior to the break, and working on that as well. I think I have some drafts, but they aren't in the repo just yet. So I've just left that as a link. And of course, if there's questions about those steps, we can bring those up and put the links in the notes and make sure that those are distributed as well. So some general updates. We do have some new branding. I think everybody has seen it from Janae. Janae is traveling today, so she's not able to be with us, but I did want to just touch on this. There's new branding. It's coming out. You guys have seen some of it. There will be formal communication and sort of a rollout of that. You'll see that on social media and our mailing lists in here. And look for that. I think that that's well known. And we're looking forward to it. We've been working pretty steadily on that the last couple of months, and so that's exciting. We are going to have some virtual meetups every month. We will try to do these again as a US time frame, probably in the evenings on a Wednesday, and then repeat it at a European time, so that we can make sure that we're hitting everybody, trying to hit as many time zones as we can, and then of course record it and put it on YouTube and make that available to everybody. And looking for speakers as well. We are going to revive Salt Air. I think that's actually being revived this week, and that's pretty exciting. In fact, one of my first introductions to getting to know Salt was through Salt Air back in the day, and they were funny and well done and gave lots of information and short enough that they were easily consumable. So that's actually really exciting. Janae's working pretty hard to get that done, and we're excited about that. So docs working group today, and then I have the calendar links in here. We are totally moved over to the Outlook calendar. I think we had a few problems over the break while I was gone, and I believe those are all fixed. But if you're still having problems with the calendar links, please let us know. We want to make sure that we're getting those fixed and that people can see the events that are available to them. But then today, later in the afternoon at 2 Mountain, we'll be having the working group. This is a fun group. If you are interested in joining, please just show up. We'd love to have you. I don't know, Derek, if you have any more to say.
No, I think Elisa might be leading that today, and I'm not quite sure. Oh yeah, and potentially Alan might be there, but yeah, we're talking about doc stuff, and there's one project that's coming up the pipeline around kind of creating a SALT user guide in its own separate repo, and that would be compiling a lot of great work that came out of from Alan and Terminal Labs. So it's pretty cool, and yeah, kind of, I don't know, we'll be talking about other doc stuff too, and people can feel free to join and ask questions or even see about how to contribute.
Yeah, that one's going to be pretty great. I'm excited about that. Any questions about the docs working group or the docs clinics? Have those every other week. So on Thursdays, 2 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. UTC, we have something going on with docs. It just depends on if it's a Zoom link or if it's on Twitch. So we try to announce that every week here, and then it's on the calendar. Working to get that up on a website as well. So that's going to come out with our new branding. So that'll be in several places at once. You can see those. So if nothing else, I'll just go ahead and open this up to general Q&A. Does anybody have anything they wanted to discuss or questions? I did post prior to the holidays in the community repo, the SaltStack community repo. Right on the main page of the wiki, the aluminum release milestones, and working towards those. I don't know that if anybody has questions there. We're working towards that. You'll see things that are labeled aluminum, and working our way through it. Any questions about any of the current SEPs? I know that we have them here. I can actually bring this up.
I'll have to check with Wayne. I think he's probably doing his Twitch stream right now. He might be, but I was going to check with him because I think his PR for and this is not SEP related, but his PR is pretty close to being accepted and for the contributing guide updates that he's applying.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think Elisa just did maybe a final review that he just needs to check out, and then we'll have like a nice place we could say, point people to the contributing file he's worked on.
Is his, I think it's in hacking, and it has a lot about tests. Is that right?
Actually, the PR is going to result in removing. It's like compiling all of the contributing guides into one file. Yeah, and so it's going to be removing some of these hacking ones that sort of were either saying similar things or were outdated, and then taking the pieces that were isolated to each of them and combining them so that it'll be in one place. I'm probably going to do a follow-up PR later because I'd like to have the same contributing RST file that's used in the docs Sphinx generated page site to be the root contributing file that's in the GitHub repo itself, so that we just have one file to modify, and Sphinx can just do an include and pull it in at build. But yeah, he's doing a lot of great changes in there, changing things like, hey, anything that says the develop branch, no, master branch is over here. And a lot of other stuff related to Knox, thanks to Pedro's help and review on there too. And so it's going to be a good updated landing page that's a lot clearer on kind of how we currently do things.
That's great. I didn't realize that had gotten quite so far. I've been gone. It's kind of nice to realize work has been done. That's awesome. Gary, thank you for your comment. And Daniel, thank you for answering. Yes, the memory leak issues in magnesium are expected to be fixed. There's actually a PR that's already been merged, and then that will be released in February with the aluminum release. So, great question.
Yeah, but to clarify, they were already addressed. We reverted the change that caused the memory leak issues.
Yes. No point release. Yeah, thank you for that clarification. Yeah, any other questions? We love to hear from you guys and want to hear the questions that you have or comments. I kind of expected this to go one of two ways. Either there was going to be a lot of questions or we may end early.
You talked about the logo change.
Yeah, with the new branding.
When I asked about that in December, she wanted me to hold off until it had been officially announced.
I think the official announcement is still yet to come, although we're talking about it. It's not a secret, but you'll have to ask Janae exactly what that date is, official announcement, but it'll go into the aluminum release.
She was on Tuesday when I said I was going to put them in the builds, the Windows and the
Okay.
Mac builds, and she didn't say anything.
I'll ask her.
Do I go with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
And I think Janae's back tomorrow, right?
I believe so. Mhm. I believe
Yeah,
she'll
so
be-
I'm going to be talking to her about, actually, we'll just paste it in the chat here, but we have a salt branding guide repo on GitLab, and I have a merge request that pretty much has all the logos and it's sitting open. We got Janae an account set up, and we're going to work with her she's pretty much going to accept her first GitLab merge request and merge.
Exciting.
And then we'll have logos sitting in a repository so that there's a reference point for other installers, sort of like the Mac and Windows ones that you were talking about before.
Right, and I think that we're also using that GitLab repo for other things as well. Like if you're giving a talk about salt, there's some images to use, or maybe even a slide deck that's branded, or some things like that. I don't know exactly what will be in there, but there will be some things for general use, and that's going to be great because you know that you'll also have the most updated logo. You'll have the most updated images if you need to use those, and we can share those around. And I'm excited about that because I think that's something that we had and then we didn't have with some of the changes, and I'm excited to get back to that because I think it's really nice to have a central, like, one source of truth. Where is the stuff that I go to get all the things I need, you know, and to make sure that they're correct, right?
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be a place that'll expand, I think, with like you said, slides and that kind of stuff. It right now is pretty much like fonts for like how the SALT project websites would be using, and the color scheme, and then the logos. And then yeah, from there, pretty much anything else we can provide for people doing blogs or articles or presentations. Kind of a reference place for images and the likes. So.
Yeah. But yeah, Shane, I'll get you some exact dates and we'll work towards that in aluminum.
Looks like we had a question in the chat, Sage, from Gary.
Open source Delta proxy. I don't actually, maybe Gareth, you know, I don't know. I guess if we have enough of a want, maybe, I don't know. I'll take an action to follow up.
Yeah, I think I was gonna say, like, I think that's not a question that anyone on this call or team can answer. It's one we'll have to like pass up the chain to our head of product, Alex Pay. But yeah, there's been a few people that have asked how to do it. I don't know if we would, like your follow-up question, writing docs, how to write one. I don't think we would do that either necessarily, because it's right now it's part of our enterprise product. So unfortunately, it's kind of like shooting ourselves in the foot if we like try and sell people something and then have documentation on how to write your own version of it.
It only took you like 6 months, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I honestly, I would be in favor of open sourcing it, just because I think there would be a huge benefit to it. Everyone can look at and make fun of the horrible code that I wrote to make it work. It's like the beauty of open source, right?
Beauty.
But yeah, right now it's not up to us, unfortunately.
Yeah, but we can at least take that information that there's a desire, make sure that goes up the chain.
Yeah, I mean, just to like continue the conversation here, like your Gary's concern about salt being irrelevant. All of the proxy minions continue to work as before. Delta proxy just gives you the ability to run more than one in a single process. So you're still able to use all of the same proxy minions in the usual way. You're just not able to run them using
Okay, yeah,
Delta proxy.
I'm gonna jump on. I know this horse has probably been beaten and flogged, but I'm gonna jump on voice here just to make this a little easier. So
Totally
my
fine.
concern is, while proxy minions work, they're not practical for largest networks. And I understand you have a product and you guys have to get paid and you guys have to make money. I'm just worried if the open source product is not practical to use for network management because of the memory requirements of the proxy minions, which if you have a network of say 1,000 devices times, times call it 110 megs memory per process, not very practical. So I'm actually looking at one of the reasons I was asking about the Delta proxy or about documentation for writing some sort of Delta proxy is I was looking at maybe integrating, writing a Delta proxy for S, or being able to connect S proxy as a Delta proxy to make it more practical to manage large number of devices. Yeah, my concern is just I see SALT becoming less and less relevant based on discussions with people in the industry for network devices, just simply because it's not practical to run the number of Delta proxies that people need, and not everyone is willing or able to afford, SALT Enterprise at $80 a node or whatever it is.
Yeah, no, totally. That's a no. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just say that's my 2 cents. I think I understand it's kind of your secret sauce and you guys have to get paid. I just think you may be losing out in that space to Ansible, and there's a bunch of there's Nordner and a bunch of other upstarts that I think you're at some point you guys may completely lose any community support for basically using SALT as a network device management tool. And at that point, it may actually impact your ability to sell it in the sell the enterprise version in that space as well. My 2 cents.
Yeah,
I
no,
really
that's
appreciate that. Yeah.
That's good feedback. I was just going to say we can definitely take that back to Alex and just give him that feedback and go from there.
Yeah, something that I think across the board that I've wondered and asked Alex about several times was how we have something that's lighter weight that is open source, and then if you're doing more to have enterprise, and how that should look, and how we could start there, how we could even go backwards with some of the things that we have. And we've talked about it some. I don't know that we've talked about it with Delta Proxy enough, and so this gives us a reason to go back and talk about it again and really dive deeper into it and say, hey, I think that this is something the community wants and that we need to discuss it again. So thank you.
Right. My other concern would be is if someone did decide to go off and write one, that it would just be duplicating effort that has already been done. So it's definitely something I think the people on this call are open to. But like we said, we just need to work it out in the internals of SALT.
Yeah, and I think as we've made the transition to VMware, the community for SALT has a really large voice, and we really need to be the advocates of pulling that in internally. And so I think that's exactly where we are with this as well. So Gareth has got it, Daniel's got it, that we need to work on that to be that advocate to make sure that that's happening, that those requests are getting up that chain.
To add another bit of flavor, or I guess echo Gary's sentiment, somebody in the IRC, Peter Punk, said that they're implementing SALT, and the network folks there are most resistant, the ones most resistant to SALT. So that just, I guess, lends a bit of weight to Gary's concern, for whatever that's worth.
Yeah, thank you. We had a working group that was around network management, and it didn't go anywhere. And so it kind of makes me wonder if this is, you know, a linchpin for that, if that's why, and or one of the reasons. So it's good to understand that. I'd love to hear more. Yeah, other questions, comments?
To remind people that we're removing a bunch of stuff, 2019.2 and old OSs from repo to archive on, I think it's the 19th.
That's right. Thanks, Bryce.
Do we have, was that included in one of our outgoing messages? Because I'd like to make sure, I'd like to copy that into the notes for this open hour.
Yeah, we made an announcement in the community Slack.
Sweet. All right, I'll go grab that and include it.
Yeah, and thank you for bringing that up, Bryce. I think that we wanted to say something before the break, and now we really want to make that well known now that we're all back from holidays, and make sure people are aware of that. We've had it kind of out there, and there will be some dual, and then everything will get removed. And so there's some communication out there, and we'll make sure that's in the notes today so that everybody has it and get that communication out widely.
And Sage, did we update then that PDF that shows like, hey, what OSs do we support? Because if because that's 2019 versions, right? And then packages for OSs that are outside of support, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and I think that we have some work to do there, and we probably need to get that done for the 19th.
Okay.
So we should look at that, Derek. You and me.
Sounds good.
Okay. I know we've done a lot of work on it. We have it in kind of a draft form for some new stuff, but I think we just need to push it forward. Cool. Is anything else? If not, I'm happy to give people time back in their day. Something I did want to mention that we are adopting as part of the transition over to VMware is that meetings are not a full hour. They tend to be, you know, if it's an hour, I think they're 50 or 55 minutes, and we'll probably see this meeting change to that it's in an attempt to help people for whatever comes next for them at that hour. I like that. I think that that's helpful. I don't know that I need 10 minutes since I work remotely. It's not like I need to walk anywhere. I probably only need 5. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But you'll probably see that change. And I think that that's good overall practice to make sure that people can get on with their day. And of course, if other people have thoughts, ideas, comments, we'd love to hear from you. And please let us know if there's problems or concerns. We want to hear about those as well. And definitely available on Slack and IRC, as well as the mailing lists. And if nobody has anything else, we can probably call it. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being a part of this wonderful community, and happy Thursday.